if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored?
Welcome to Super Fast Taurus, and today we have a deck tech for you. Yes, we are doing a deck tech on Rigo, Streetwise Mentor. This deck breaks Rule 0. No, there's no ban cards in it, but there is an unspoken rule that you are not allowed to run X amount of counterspells, and we break that. So you'll want to talk to your play group before playing this deck. And we start this deck tech right now. Our commander is Rigo, Streetwise Mentor. He costs a green or white, a white, and a white or blue. He's a 2/2 legendary creature, cat citizen. His first ability is Rigo Streetwise Mentor enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it. And that says, if it would be dealt damage or destroyed, remove a shield counter from it instead, it being Rigo. His second ability says, whenever you attack a player or planeswalker with one or more creatures with power 1 or less, draw a card. That is the ability we're going to stick with and focus on for the deck. The shield counter is just a plus, doesn't mean he's going to do anything. We want to take advantage of that draw ability. First things first, this deck is a Simic based deck, a lot of blue and green, but we have white. So we're going to run some mana fixing for the white cards we need, because those are important as well. But we're focused on the green and blue aspect. Green for the creatures, blue for the counterspells. And so, let's see the mana fixing now. We have Rampant Growth, Nature's Lore, Sylvan Scrying, Farseek, Secure Tribe Elder, Arcane Signet, and Explore. And if you notice, all these ramp and mana fixing spells have a converted mana cost of 2, and that is so we can aggressively fix our mana early game. We don't need much more than just 4 mana for the long game, but later in the game we do need more mana. But we're just trying to fix our mana to be 2 green, 2 blue, and a white at least for our deck to operate correctly. With that being said about the mana ramp, we are going on to the Deathtouch creatures. Why Deathtouch? Because I wanted Rigo's ability to draw cards when attacking an opponent to be easier. And I thought, what's the best way to make sure someone doesn't block your creatures? Well, if your creature has Deathtouch, no one wants to block your creatures very much. And there's a lot of 1/1 Deathtouchers out there, or just Deathtouchers with power 1 or less, and that is amazing. Let's see what we have. For our Deathtouch creatures, we have Moss Viper, Sedge Scorpion, Fang of Shigeki, Tajuru Blightblade, Gnarlwood Dryad, and Toxic Scorpion, including Deadly Recluse and Nightshade Peddler to give another creature Deathtouch if possible. We have Kappa Tech Wrecker, who has a Deathtouch counter on him that you can remove to destroy target enchantment or artifact. We have Underdark Basilisk. We include Finn the Fangbearer to also give our Deathtouch a win con with poison counters. We run Needlethorn Drake, Warren Viper, who doesn't have Deathtouch but has a Deathtouch-like ability, and to help us draw cards. We have Bow of Nylea to give our attacking creatures Deathtouch if they don't have Deathtouch, and gives us other options to play with. We have Winged Kotal. We include Sereth the Viper's Fang to give our attacking creatures Deathtouch and Hexproof when they're not attacking. We also have Orin Frostfang, who gives our attacking creatures Deathtouch and a draw ability if our creatures connect, to give Rigo more draw power in the late run. We have Hornet Queen, who's just an amazing card in this deck, producing 4/1/1 green insect creature tokens with flying and Deathtouch, so you're getting your bang for the buck with this creature. And the last creature with Deathtouch on this list is Ascetic Slime, who also lets us remove a land, artifact, or enchantment from the battlefield. That is just nuts. That's just a lot of Deathtouch creatures in the deck. And yes, Deathtouch is the theme of the creatures in the deck. That's why there's so much support that you've seen in it. But we have to back that up. We have to back it up with 19 counterspells. 19 counterspells, as I reiterate. And it works functionally. And here's the counterspells in the list. We are running Arcane Denial, Negate, Memory Lapse, Familiar's Ruse, Counterspell, Rakshas's Disdain, Whirlwind Denial, You'll Find the Villain's Lair, Thought Collapse, Dissolve, Dissipate, Last Word, Memory Drain, Insidious Will, Overwhelming Denial, Frilled Mystic and Mystic Snake, also Forceful Denial, and finally Logic Knot. Wow, I mean, that's just a lot of counterspells. I normally wouldn't run that many counterspells in a deck, but this deck really needs the support. But now, I'm going to show you the removal spells. We have Swords to Plowshares, Banishing Light, Oblivion Ring, Imprisoned in the Moon, and Lagrilla the Magpie. You will notice that all the removal I just listed only exiles or does not simply just destroy. And that is by design, that we want indestructible things to be dealt with if we can't counter them right away. But how are we going to get all these spells that I've listed? We're going to the draw section. Yes, and in the draw section, I did a group hug theme because no one really wants to destroy things that let them draw cards. Let's see what they are. We have Kami of the Crescent Moon, Dictate of Krufix, Howling Mine, and Monastery Siege as our 4 points of draw. Monastery Siege does not let your opponents draw extra cards. It lets you draw extra cards and discard a card at the beginning of your upkeep. But it also, with its cons ability, lets you add a layer of protection to all your creatures, which is solid. And now, we're going to see the 2 points of protection in the deck and the support cards to finish off what's in the deck. Let's see what they are. We are running Heroic Intervention and Rootborn Defenses as 2 cards to help go against board wipes when needed. As for our support cards, we have Broker's Ascendancy, Levitation to give our Deathtouch creatures flying. We also include Volo, Guide to Monsters, to give us tokens of creatures when possible. We run Juniper Order Ranger to help beef up the board. We also include True Conviction to give Double Strike and Lifelink to all Deathtouchers. We also have Avenger of Zendikar as that classic tokens card that green just seems to run. And we end this list with the Tarrasque. This big beefy monster has a lot going for it, and that fight ability on attacking is just crazy. And that is the support part. There are some powerful beefy win cons in there, some great support for the deck overall. And that leads us to the end of the deck tech. After this segment, I'm just going to let lands slide by across the screen to let you know what lands I have in the deck. But that's it. Please let me know what you think about the deck. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is it too salty? Is it something that you would play? I want to know all your thoughts in the comments down below. And until next time, my friends, please like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.
I see rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me. Turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh God.
Maybe someday we could become friends. There's still one more thing I must do before I go.
Yes, and yes. And?
Thank you guys so much.
We really appreciate, everything.
God, I love being a turtle! I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head, constantly thoughts jumbled around, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got.